Hi there, welcome to Double Bill Movies. I'm Trevor, and if you saw my video about the rest of the haul I got of titles, you'll see that when I got to one of them, I mentioned how excited I was about it, having seen John from Mondo Chelovec's video on his version, and that film was Don't Go in the House. Now, on Saturday night I decided to try and watch two films, and there's been a bit of discussion between me and John about how I like to watch kind of either a crusty version of a film or a pristine, HD, or when I get round to it, 4K version. But since John had mentioned about the VHS version on the third disc of Don't Go in the House, on the Arrow store exclusive version, which is this one, I thought, that's the version I'm going to watch first, and I did. But before that, he also reminded me that on Burial Ground, I think it's on any version of it. This is obviously a first edition with the limited edition sleeve. You can get the first edition without the sleeve and with the booklet and everything. But on the back here, it mentions that there is a Grindhouse edition, which is from a 35mm film that they found, which they didn't do any restoration on, I don't think, and basically just transferred it, or what we call in the business ingest it, into the digital realm, and presented it for us to watch on Blu-ray. So my only second viewing of Burial Ground was the Grindhouse version, the 35mm presentation, and I have to say, clearly the first time I watched it, I must have fallen asleep quite a few times, because I completely forgotten what a zombie fest this film is. I really enjoyed it, and I don't recall enjoying it that much the first time I watched it, and like I said, I don't remember quite so many zombies, but the added bonus of the grittiness of the film damage, the grain, the dirt, the scratches, and everything like that really added to my experience. And yeah, now I can watch this again at some point and watch the nice pristine version, and see what it really looks like, how the director actually wanted us to see it, and I will enjoy it almost as much, but to have that option about of watching a crusty version or a pristine version. So if you've seen my video on the 88 Films Indigogo fundraiser, I'll leave a link in the description below. Go and watch that one. It's a good little video, bit of insight. I have two versions of Anthropophagus, and one being 88's original release of it, which was basically just there was clearly no restoration done, but it was a remaster in the sense that it was mastered for HD, that's all. And I have the remastered version that they did because of the fundraisers that I took part in. So I have a crusty version and a pristine version. So yeah, it's really worth watching if you want that really old school sort of either grotty sort of old cinema experience, or the kind of VHS. Obviously it doesn't look like VHS because it's not, but if you want that kind of really old school experience that viewers of the late 70s, early 80s got to see, a home video, then yeah, really give the 35mm Grindhouse version a go. It's worth it. It just adds another dimension to the film, I think. So like I said, I was going to try and watch 2 films, but I got too tired. So that was Saturday night. Today is Monday. So yesterday, Sunday evening, I did sit down and watch the VHS version of this on the disc 3. Now you may think, okay, so how have they done that? So basically all you would do is ingest the VHS version into the digital realm, as it's an analog format, and then you basically upscale it to 1080, and in this case, because I just checked on my TV, 1080p. So the fact that there's 3 or 4 different versions of the movie, you may sort of think, well, how can they squash all of that at 1080 onto a Blu-ray? Now, I'm not sure this is the way they would have done it, but when I used to work in quality control, quality assurance, and when Blu-ray came out and we were learning about it and finding out all the different wonderful weird things that they could do, was that and Quentin Tarantino did this on Terror Planet, and is it Death Proof? I'm not amazing on Tarantino films, so excuse me if I'm wrong there, but he did basically a pristine version and then a crusty version. Now, it's not 2 versions of the film. Basically it's the same piece of video, but with the scratches and everything laid over the top. So yeah, just think of it as that, as a layer. Now, another thing you can do, we found this out with the Pixar movies when we used to work on them, was when we did set the film to a different language like German or French, anytime there was text that wasn't like a name, so if it was just, let's say, Pizza Planet, and that, whatever that would be in French, it would be in French in the Pixar graphics, and you think, okay, clearly they haven't made another whole version of the film. But what it was the Blu-ray will branch off to this segment which has the French text, and then once it's played the segment of the film with that French text, it will then go back down to the original film. So it's literally just a branch off to the bit it needs and then back to the main film. So you've only got 1 version of the film on the disc. Now, whether they've been able to do anything quite that technical with this, or they literally have, just because it's a short film, you know, it's I think the longest version is about 1 hour 24 minutes, so it's quite a short film. But whether they've been able to do, you've got the VHS version, you've got the open matte version, which is basically in some ways less information in each frame, because it's not filling your whole screen, it's not filling your TV. So the open matte means instead of it being widescreen like this, they've opened up the frame till its full square frame, and so you get big black bars either side of it, and as if it was like this on a oops, get my finger going the right way. So these black bars here, I'll put there because there's no information there, and the middle bit here is your 4x3, your old square TVs. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure if that's how Arrow have done it, but it's very clever. And I watched the censored version, the BBFC censored VHS version, because I wanted that experience that everyone had when it came to home video. I'm not sure if it was initially in the shops uncut and then it got cut, you know. I'd have to do a lot of research to find all that out. But so the next time I shall probably watch the uncut version, and there's about another 2 minutes. So the censored one was 1 hour 21:50 something, and then I checked, and the uncensored one was 1 hour 23 something. So, and then of course, like I said, there's the open matte version, and I had a quick look, and you will see a sort of a black circle around part of it, and that's obviously the outer edge of the camera lens, and so that's why you would have your blanking off to create a widescreen frame to hide sort of some of these things. And then obviously you've got the main presentation on this one, the theatrical cut, so the version you lucky guys did see in the cinema. And then I think yeah, disc 2 limited edition exclusive. I can't read all that, I need to put my glasses on, but anyway, John's covered it enough. Go and watch his videos on it. But he, like me, is getting quite excited about having these different versions and having the old school, obviously the old school presentation, but having the new pristine looking version to watch as well. So we both decided we really like that, and I think a lot of you guys will as well, judging by what he's just said in his video from today, that a lot of you have cancelled your order of the artwork of this version, the slipcover with that version, to go to the Arrow store and order this one, snap this one up, and that's a good idea. So I've got this on screen because, you know, if you're my age, you will remember watching VHSs and seeing this kind of thing. And right at the bottom there, you can't really see it very well on this, but that's it's just where the video isn't perfect. So where it would have been in the player and not quite tracking properly, so you just get a funny, and all the way through the film that sort of funny line is at the bottom. And it was really nice to see the old quirks from a VHS, and clearly it was a very worn VHS. And actually you could see that the film stock that they'd used to create the VHS was very dirty, very scratched. And of course you still get the cigarette burns in the corner, which is the indication for the projectionist, get it right, the projectionist, to change the reel, and all those things that are in there. And it was just a wonderful experience. I just wanted to kind of come on video and show my enthusiasm for this amazing release from Arrow. And take note 88, take note Kino Lorber, take note Synapse and Second Sight. Yeah, Second Sight, you've got Dog Soldiers coming out, so do the same. If you can, do the same kind of thing. Give us all the sort of ways we can. Yes, we know you're doing a 4K version, and I'm really looking forward to it, but please also give us a kind of a crusty VHS kind of version as well. That would be great. So any of you labels out there, I doubt you're watching my channel yet, but I can still say it, can't I? Give us all the options possible. That's what Blu-ray, the disc, its functionality, its abilities was always about. And it's taken this long. I mean, I was working at Sony from 2013 to 2014, so I just did a year there. So before that, you know, Blu-ray came out in 2008. obviously the war with HD DVD and Blu-ray, but we knew Blu-ray was going to win. So the technology has been there that long, and it's taken till 2022 for a label to really utilize the disc at its best. Yeah, okay, so there's 3 discs, but it doesn't matter. We've got a pristine version, we've got a different cut, and then we've got these the VHS version and the open wrap version, and just all the permutations. You know, it's a shame you can't actually get a proper reel-to-reel like John at Movie Collector would do. Not that I imagine he's that interested in these kind of films, I don't know. But still, giving us all the options to watch in one package is clearly the way forwards. So anyway, before I ramble on too much, just wow, yeah, 16 minutes. Hey, that's not too bad. I was looking at the time left, it says 45 minutes. I thought I'd not been talking for 45 minutes. Anyway, yeah, so go and get your Arrow Store exclusive version of Don't Go in the House, and just watch all the different versions and enjoy. And equally, if you've got Burial Ground and have watched it but haven't necessarily noticed this bit, which says about the Grindhouse version, get that on as well, and have a really old school experience of a really grindy movie in what it used to be like back in the late 70s, early 80s. Also, if you've had any really cool home cinema experiences like I have with these 2 films, and especially yesterday, then let me know. Another one I had was, I was away on holiday and we were in a cottage in the middle of nowhere, and the lounge for that cottage just had this horror film vibe to it. Not that it wasn't gross, it was really nice, but the open fireplace, the stone hearth and the beams in the ceiling, and just the whole decor. And one night to myself, because my wife's not into horror films, I watched a film called Mutant on a DVD. And if you just excuse me a second. It wasn't on this, but it was on a film like this. So John, if you're watching, this is the 4 film thing I was telling you about. So on here is the Grim Reaper, Skeletons in the Closet, Beyond the Door 2, which of course we've just had released, which I have on Blu-ray, and from Arrow, and The House on Sorority Row, which of course we have from '88. And watching that film in that cottage, in the middle of nowhere, in the dark, by myself, was just a brilliant experience. So if you can do anything like that, I recommend it. Or if you live in a cottage, then lucky you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon. So take it easy.